I want to take a second with y'all real quick and really talk about this Gyökeres to Arsenal move. And this is something I can heavily speak on, lads, because I watch every game in the Portuguese league. So I watched pretty much every single Gyökeres Sporting game, and it's because I hate watch. I hate watch, man. I hate watch a lot because I'm a Benfica fan, right? So I need Sporting to lose games. So I turn the game on and I hate watch. Just like Sporting fans turn on Benfica games to hate watch, to hope they lose. Once Sporting goes up by a goal or two, I turn it off and I go on about my day and I realize, you know what, this really sucks. They're going to win the league. But I do hate watch. And as I was hate watching, I could only admire the talent that was playing in Portugal. And he goes by the name of Gyökeres. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, Skills, the Portuguese league is pretty easy. The Portuguese league is this, the Portuguese league is that. But I want to tell you guys something. I seen Falcao play in the Portuguese league, okay? And I saw what Falcao did in the Portuguese. I saw a guy named Mario Jardel play in the Portuguese league. A lot of y'all might not remember him. I was very young, but Mario Jardel played in the Portuguese league. I remember watching him. And the list goes on. I saw Saviola play in the Portuguese league. I don't know if you guys know who that is. Oscar Cardozo, the list goes on of number 9s that I've seen play in the Portuguese league. And I never said this about Darwin Nunez. I never said nothing like that. I did think Darwin Nunez would be okay at Liverpool. I said his first season's bad. His second season, he'll probably do good. I thought he could be a good player for y'all. I really thought that he could. Did he miss a lot of goals for Benfica? A ton of goals. He missed a lot. And his first season at Benfica, I hated him. I wanted him benched. I wanted him gone. I didn't like him at Benfica. I didn't think he was good enough for Benfica. I know my live stream, when I used to stream a lot, would know me raging about him. But then the second season, he really turned it on. Gyökeres has never had something like that. Gyökeres stepped into Sporting, and he's just been on this trajectory going up. He's been this guy that's absolutely slayed the Portuguese league. And also, when we see him in the Champions League, and because he plays for Sporting, he didn't get to play Champions League every single year that he was there. So it's something that the Sporting, if you guys don't know real quick, Sporting is a team that they went through a real bad time. They went through a time where the fans attacked players and coach, right? Jorge Jesus, and then mad players left because of this. Players like William Carvalho, Roy Patricio. The only one that stayed was Bruno Fernandes, really. And Bruno Fernandes was like, yo, I'll come back. You guys don't have to fix my wages. I'll come back. He could have left during that time. He came back. He was true to them. He was real to them. And then they went through like this presidency changes, all kinds of craziness happened there, right? And then Ruben Amorim comes in, puts the boat riding correctly, sails it perfectly, gets everything going good, and then he signs Gyökeres, and then everything just explodes. And it's like Sporting, for the first time in forever, win back-to-back champions. And if anyone tells you it's not because of Gyökeres, they're crazy. I'm going to tell you something right now. Had it not been for Gyökeres and Ruben Amorim leaves Sporting the way he left them, Sporting would have crumbled. And I know every Sportingista knows this because they hired a bad coach when Ruben Amorim left. Then they switched to another coach, and it was like this 2 coaches, players kind of losing confidence. But Gyökeres just settled it all. And Gyökeres started scoring and kind of really just helped Sporting continue in the way they were going. If Gyökeres was not there, I truly believe Sporting would have had a very hard time winning the league. Not because Benfica was good, but it's just hard for any team to go through 3 coaches in a season and still win the league, right? So Gyökeres is that much of a talent that people need to understand that, yes, it's the Portuguese league, but understand something. He banged in the Champions League. He scored there. He banged in the Champions League. He played well in the Champions League. But not only that, yes, it's the Portuguese league, but if it was the Portuguese league and only the Portuguese league, you would see number 9s compete for the Golden Boot all the time. If the Portuguese league was that easy. Pavlidis scoring a lot of goals for Benfica. Go look how many goals Pavlidis scoring a lot for Benfica. He's not in the Golden Boot conversation. To be in the Golden Boot conversation, lads, you need to do more than other leagues. Every time Mbappe scores a goal, it's 1 point in the Golden Boot. Every time Gyökeres scores a goal, he needs to do 1.5. So he needs to score a goal and a half, pretty much 2 goals to get 1 point in this Golden Boot, which means he had to do double of what Mbappe did, double of what Salah did almost, to be even in that conversation. And by the way, he was winning the Golden Boot race until the final day where Mbappe jumped him, right? So this is important because it's not every day that someone in the Portuguese league can be in that golden boot conversation because you need to do more. And you can see he scored for Sweden. He scored in Champions League. So do I think that he's going to have the same impact on Arsenal that he had on Sporting? Yes, even more. And the reason I'm telling you I believe this is because Arsenal is built. Arsenal has players around him that are going to pick him up even better. At Sporting, he was the best player. At Arsenal, he's not the best player. Saka's there. Odegaard's there. The balls he's going to be fed. Look, I love Human. I love Palt. I love Genda. I love Jenny. Jenny, these are kids giving Gyökeres the ball. Kenda's like barely, he's like 17, 18, bro. Kenda's so young. And he's giving Gyökeres. Gyökeres is playing with children, and he's playing with kids, right? He's going to play with Odegaard, one of the best midfielders in football, and Saka, one of the best wingers in football. All he has to do is position himself right in the box. And not only that, Gyökeres is fast, he's strong, he can body people. Like, this is what Arsenal needs because it's a player that he can play in the box if you need it, but he can also play out the box when you need it. And the most important thing about Gyökeres is this. On the counterattack, so in those games where Arsenal's losing possession to City or they're losing possession to Liverpool, all you got to do is pop a ball up. And Gyökeres is going to run onto this ball so fast, so strong. Because listen, Pep is a world-class center back. And Pep was playing at Porto. Now, this is the end of Pep's career, okay? So Pep doesn't have the legs. If Pep was his prime, Pep would have just drop-kicked him. If he thinks he's going to get past him, Pep would have drop-kicked him. But he was going up against Pep and did very good. Otamendi, even though he's older, this guy won a World Cup 2 years ago, okay? He won a World Cup 2 years ago. If you look at him in the Champions League, the game he played against Barcelona, the game he played against big teams, he was very good. And I've seen Gyökeres destroy Otamendi. I've seen Gyökeres destroy Paredes, who's linked to Madrid. I mean, destroy him, okay? I've seen Gyökeres destroy Antonio Silva. I've seen Gyökeres destroy Pep. I've seen Gyökeres destroy very good center backs, destroy them because he's too strong, he's too fast, he's too big. But I do think Gyökeres is in that conversation to really be one of the best number 9s in football and in that top 3 conversation. I truly believe this is a guy that's just magic. He's magic, and I think he's going to make Arsenal better, extremely better. Speaking of someone making somebody better, Rodrygo's linked to PSG. Now, this is something that, like, you know my saying, the world better get ready? Like, the world literally needs this not to happen. This can't happen. If this happens, y'all, PSG's freaking nasty. PSG's freaking nasty. If they have Dembele on one side and Rodrygo on the other, with Vitinha and João Neves dealing with the midfield and Fabian with Luis Enrique, this is not good. This is not good for me as a Benfiquista in the Champions League if we match them. It's not good for Madrid. It's not good for Barcelona. Can Real Madrid and Barcelona beat this team? Of course. Anybody can beat anybody. But PSG right now is the best team in Europe. They proved that in the Champions League. They're playing the best football in Europe. They proved that, right? They're playing unbelievable football. They're doing really good in the Club World Cup as of now. If this might come out when they're eliminated, I'm not sure when this comes out, but they are incredible and they're the team to beat. And getting a talent like Rodrygo, who is already successful at winning, wants to win, understands what winning means, understands what it means to win a Champions League, going into a team that's just won a Champions League, morale is to the moon with these guys. You're stepping into a team. I just think it's perfect. If I'm being honest with you, I think Rodrygo fits them perfect. I actually think Rodrygo fits them more than any team in the Premier League. I know he was linked to Arsenal. I think Rodrygo to PSG, that's like a dream case scenario. Honestly, that's the most perfect move for Rodrygo. If I'm Rodrygo, I'm signing that if I have to leave Madrid because they're not going to play me, I'm going there. That's the perfect place for him, bro. Like, I can't think of in my head a more perfect place than Rodrygo to PSG. And I'm sad I didn't think about that before. Like, when I saw Fob putting news out about this, I said, damn, that's actually ridiculous. That is the perfect summer move for PSG. Like, I cannot think of a better move, right? What scares me is you have Carvadona and you have Dembele. Now, Dembele's been playing the 9, right? He's kind of been going inside. So Rodrygo's going to have to continue to play the right side because you have Carvadona, unless they can switch. So what's it going to be? It's going to be Rodrygo, Dembele, Carvadona, something like that, because they really play with like a 9 that can just, they're kind of flowing. You also have that Do kid, like very, very good talent there. So Rodrygo's going to have competition there to play that, get in that starting 11. It's going to be hard for him to get in the starting 11 because there's a lot of talented players there. It's going to be very hard for him. Carvadona's amazing. And that was a signing that really went under the radar. Nobody was really talking about it when it happened. And that was one of the best signings we've seen in football in many, many years. And still to this day, people don't really talk about that much. That is a steal, right? That's a steal, bro. That was a perfect signing for them. And I do think Rodrygo is a perfect signing for them as well. But again, there's a lot of talented wingers on this team. So it would be interesting to see how they fit him in. But man, I could see Rodrygo under Luis Enrique. That is a scary sight. That is an absolute scary sight. Matter of fact, I want to pull up PSG's lineup really quickly for their last match in the Club World Cup where they played Bayern. And in this match, they lined up with Carvadona on the right, down the middle, and then Barcola. I forgot about Barcola on the right. So that's how the team lined up against Bayern Munich. And then I believe Dembele came off the bench against Inter Miami. It was also Do and Barcola. But I'm trying to go back to the Champions League final. The Champions League final is an interesting one for me because the Champions League final, I'm trying to remember exactly what the lineup was when they won 5-0. It was Do on the right, Dembele striker, Carvadona left. So I don't know if he gets benched. The young man gets benched for Rodrygo. I'm not sure here, lads. Or do you put Rodrygo more down the middle and move Dembele back to the right? I'm not sure what he actually does here. But this is a ridiculous move because Do off the bench with Carvadona, Dembele, Rodrygo starting, Fabian Ruiz, Vitinha, João Neves, that's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous team, yo. That's scary. I truly believe that's very, 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 very scary. I'd love to know what you guys think, but that is a scary, scary move. I think Arsenal gets way better with Gyökeres. I think PSG get better. I can't say way better because they're the best team in the world already, but they get better. They truly get better with Rodrygo going to PSG. I would love to know your guys' thoughts. Those are the two big transfer rumors I saw today, man, and I really wanted to get y'all's thoughts on that. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys watching, man. Back with some more football content very, very soon. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay blessed. Y'all stay beautiful. I'll catch you soon.